When you start taking an interest in Antarctica, this continent no longer seems like an endless snowy desert. In Antarctica, you can find not only snowy valleys and glaciers, but also arid desert areas, volcanoes, and subglacial bodies of water. Moreover, despite its extreme weather conditions, this continent is also rich in biodiversity. In this video, I invite you to get to know Antarctica better and learn about the main secrets hidden in the realm of eternal frost. Enjoy watching. The waters of Antarctica are home to unique fish, crocodile icefish, also known as icefish. Their most distinctive feature is their unusual blood. The blood of these fish lacks red blood cells and hemoglobin, which is why it is not red but white and almost transparent. Additionally, it has a very thin consistency. This characteristic allows icefish to adapt perfectly to the extreme cold of Antarctic waters, where winter temperatures can drop to 2 degrees Celsius. Naturally, these fish have become the subject of numerous scientific studies, which have helped scientists uncover the secret of their transparent blood. It turns out that this unique trait is the result of evolution. About 25 million years ago, the southern ocean surrounding Antarctica began to cool rapidly. As is known, cold water contains more oxygen, and the ancestors of modern ice fish gradually adapted to these changes. Their hearts grew larger, and their number of blood vessels significantly increased. These fish learn to breathe not only through their gills, but also through their skin, absorbing oxygen directly from the water. Additionally, to prevent freezing, they developed an antifreeze protein in their blood. All of these adaptations have allowed ice fish to successfully survive in the harsh conditions of Antarctica. In 2023, a group of scientists from Belgium, Switzerland, and the United States was searching for meteorites in the vicinity of Princess Elizabeth Station, located on the Uitsteinen Nunatak. Their research was conducted using images obtained from satellites. During the expedition, the scientists encountered harsh weather conditions, but they still managed to find 5 meteorites, one of which turned out to be an extraordinary specimen. This meteorite weighs just over 7.6 kilograms, making it the largest meteorite ever discovered in Antarctica. However, scientists stated that its value lies not in its size, but in its composition, which closely resembles that of the Sun. Scientists believe this meteorite is one of the oldest ever found, and suggest that it originated from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Interestingly, throughout the years of research in Antarctica, scientists have discovered more than 45,000 meteorite specimens, most of which are very small, weighing only a few grams to a few dozen grams. Antarctica is the best place for finding and studying meteorites. This is due to its dry, freezing climate, which slows down the weathering of space debris, and the snow-covered landscape, which makes meteorites easier to detect. One of the most mysterious phenomena scientists have encountered in Antarctica is singing ice. This phenomenon was first observed in 2018 by researchers from Colorado State University. At that time, scientists heard a strange, long-lasting, and continuous sound resembling a hum. Of course, all mysterious phenomena attract scientific interest, and singing ice was no exception. Thanks to research conducted in the area where the hum was heard, scientists discovered that the source of the sound was a glacier. It turns out that rising temperatures cause microcracks to form within glaciers into which air flows. The circulation of this air within the tubular structures of the glacier creates a continuous hum, which can be quite frightening to someone unaware of its cause. The singing ice phenomenon highlights the complexity and dynamism of the processes occurring in Antarctic ice. It also vividly demonstrates how climate change affects the icy landscapes of our planet. Many people associate giant spiders with Australia, a continent famous for its large animal species. However, as it turns out, enormous spiders also exist in Antarctica. And what's more, they live exclusively underwater. One of the most impressive species of Antarctic spiders is Colossendeus megalonyx. These fascinating arthropods belong to the class Pycnogonida. Unlike most sea spiders, which are usually small, the Antarctic giants astonish with their massive size. The leg span of these arthropods can exceed 40 centimeters, making them some of the largest spiders in the world. But why are these spiders so large? Scientists believe that these creatures are an example of polar gigantism. These arthropods have almost no competitors in their class, yet they must survive in extreme conditions. However, these spiders are unique not only in their size. Recently, scientists discovered that giant sea spiders have a different reproductive strategy compared to other sea spider species. Instead of the male carrying the embryos on specialized egg-bearing legs until they hatch, as seen in most species, a different approach was observed here. One of the parents attaches the eggs to the rocky seabed, where they develop over several weeks, becoming covered in microscopic algae for camouflage. These spiders are a striking example of just how unique Antarctica's biodiversity truly is. Modern technology allows scientists to make sensational discoveries. One such discovery occurred in 2013. For almost 4 years, a special satellite observed the territory of Antarctica from space. It collected the necessary data that helped scientists determine the type of surface beneath the thick polar ice. As it turned out, beneath the ice sheet, at a depth of more than 1.5 kilometers, lie the remnants of ancient continents. Scientists from the European Space Agency combined satellite data with seismological readings. This allowed them to create a three-dimensional map of the Earth's lithosphere with ancient continental crust platforms. Thus, scientists obtained a fantastic model that enabled them to observe how Antarctica had formed over hundreds of millions of years. This discovery allowed scientists to make precise conclusions that Antarctica was once part of a supercontinent that eventually split into several continents. The closest continent to Antarctica remained Australia. A land bridge between them persisted until about 55 million years ago. Interestingly, 10 years later, in 2023, scientists made another astounding discovery using satellites. They found an ancient section of Antarctica over 14 million years old. This area consists of valleys and mountain ranges that are forever hidden beneath a kilometer-thick layer of ice. Just imagine how much more scientists have yet to learn about what lies beneath Antarctica's ice sheet. Few people know that Antarctica is home not only to snow-covered landscapes, but also to dry desert valleys. These are known as the McMurdo Dry Valleys. It is a mistake to assume that this land, completely devoid of snow and ice, is a more hospitable place to live on the continent. In reality, these valleys are among the most extreme environments on our planet. The McMurdo Dry Valleys are located in Victoria Land and cover an area of nearly 5,000 square kilometers. It never rains here, and any falling snow never reaches the ground, instantly turning into vapor due to powerful winds that can reach speeds of up to 320 kilometers per hour. Despite these extreme conditions, life still exists in these valleys, though not in the form we are used to. Of course, there are no mammals or birds, but in the local lakes, cold-resistant cyanobacteria can be found. Thanks to these microorganisms, scientists can track temperature changes and study how ecosystems respond to extreme conditions. The dry valleys are vastly different from the usual landscapes of Antarctica. Many people even compare them to Mars. This place can be called not only one of the harshest, but also one of the most unique locations on our planet. Lake Vostok is the largest subglacial lake in Antarctica. Its dimensions are approximately 250 by 50 kilometers, with its deepest point exceeding 1 kilometer. The thickness of the ice sheet above the lake is about 4 kilometers. This body of water has been isolated from the surrounding environment for several million years, making it of particular interest to science. Such a thick ice sheet previously prevented detailed research, but with modern technology, scientists have finally been able to glimpse the underwater world of this mysterious lake. You might think that there is nothing in such a lake since it is protected by ice, and its water temperature is extreme. However, this is not the case. In 2007, several years before the actual study of Vostok's waters, scientists discovered thermophilic bacteria inside the ice covering the lake, capable of surviving at extreme temperatures. But the most exciting discovery for science came in 2012 when specialists finally managed to collect water samples from the lake. They found traces of chromosomes that did not match any known living organism on our planet. This discovery became a significant event in Antarctic research and opened new scientific perspectives for studying extremophiles and their potential role in similar subglacial oceans on Jupiter's and Saturn's moons. Few people know that Antarctica has its own active volcano, Mount Erebus, located on Ross Island. This stratovolcano is the southernmost active volcano on Earth. It stands at 3,094 meters above sea level. The volcano was discovered in 1841 during a polar expedition led by James Clark Ross. It was named after one of the ships in Ross's expedition. For a long time, the volcano remained dormant, but in 1972, it awoke. Since then, it has remained active. Today, Erebus is the most active stratovolcano on our planet. Despite being in a region of perpetual frost, its crater contains a unique lava lake. This lake is filled with molten kyanite, heated to temperatures above 900 degrees Celsius. Interestingly, kyanite is found in solid form only in ancient rock formations in Kenya, while in molten form, it exists only in the lava lake of Erebus. In 2019, scientists from the Australian National University made a sensational discovery when they found an entire network of underground caves hidden beneath Antarctica's ice. This discovery requires further research to clarify the origin of these caves, but for now, let's take a closer look at this fascinating find. Currently, not much is known about this tunnel system. However, the information available is enough to suggest that it could be an ideal shelter in the continent's extreme environment. First of all, inside the caves, the air temperature rises to a comfortable 25 degrees Celsius. Additionally, the tunnel's underground location provides protection from harsh winds and heavy precipitation. Despite these favorable conditions, scientists have only found simple invertebrates living inside these caves. Such a low level of biodiversity has led conspiracy theorists to speculate that the tunnels might be artificial structures built by aliens. However, scientists insist that these tunnels have a natural origin. It is entirely possible that in the near future, we will finally learn under what circumstances these caves were formed. In 2011, a group of researchers discovered an astonishing object in the snowy expanse of Antarctica, which was named The Thing after the iconic '82 film. This fossilized specimen had an elongated oval shape and was about the size of a football. After its discovery, the object was transported to the National Museum of Natural History in Santiago, where it underwent thorough analysis. Initially, scientists were unsure of what it was, but they eventually identified the find as the oldest known mosasaur egg, dating back more than 68 million years. Mosasaurs were large marine reptiles, with body lengths exceeding 17 meters. These creatures lived on our planet around 66 million years ago. Despite being marine reptiles, mosasaurs are the closest relatives of modern monitor lizards. This mosasaur egg was unique for several reasons. First, it is the only known egg of this species and one of the largest dinosaur eggs ever discovered. Second, only to the egg of the extinct Madagascan bird, Aepyornis maximus. Secondly, what intrigued scientists most was its soft structure. The eggshell is composed almost entirely of membranes and is easily damaged. This discovery completely disproved the theory that soft-shelled eggs could not fossilize. Moreover, until this discovery, scientists believed that mosasaurs did not lay eggs, proving that their previous assumptions were incorrect. The mosasaur egg became a crucial scientific find, as it provided researchers with unique information about the reproductive process of mosasaurs. Antarctica can be called the most astonishing continent on our planet. It even has invisible mountains with maximum heights of 2,990 and 3,390 meters. But how is that possible, you might ask? The thing is, these mountains are hidden beneath a massive ice sheet, which ranges in thickness from 600 to 4,000 meters. This mountain system was first discovered during a Soviet expedition led by geophysicist Grigory Gamburtsev in 1958. These mountains were named the Gamburtsev Mountains. Their discovery was a real sensation since it was previously believed that the subglacial landscape of Antarctica was a flat plain. Despite the importance of this discovery, the first detailed study of the mountains began only in 2008. During this project, the first map of the mountain system was created. Just imagine how surprised scientists were when they found out that the size of this formation is comparable to the Alps. It stretches for about 300 kilometers, with a width of up to 500 kilometers. This discovery can undoubtedly be called sensational. But recently, scientists have also found that a certain structure with a pyramidal shape is hidden beneath the Antarctic ice. Scientists believe it is merely a geological formation. However, conspiracy theorists insist that this structure is man-made and was built with the help of extraterrestrial civilizations. Antarctica has long been considered a place where aliens might live. However, of course, this is nothing more than a theory that currently lacks any substantial evidence. Millions of years ago, Antarctica was a completely different region and boasted a rich variety of flora and fauna. It is hard to believe, but scientists' discoveries regularly confirm this fact. For several decades, archaeologists have been finding the remains of ancient animals in Antarctica. In 2011, Argentine scientists made perhaps the most extraordinary discovery when they unearthed gigantic remains. The fossils were found on James Ross Island off the coast of Antarctica. The discovery included vertebrae measuring about 20 centimeters in length. Upon studying them, scientists determined that they belonged to a dinosaur, a titanosaur. Titanosaurs were herbivorous dinosaurs from the sauropod suborder that lived during the late Cretaceous period, approximately 70–65 million years ago. They were true giants, with body lengths exceeding 20 meters. Previously, fossils of these creatures had only been found in Asia, Africa, Europe, and South America, so scientists were shocked to discover that a titanosaur had once lived in what is now Antarctica. This discovery once again confirms that millions of years ago, Antarctica was not covered in eternal ice and that its conditions were suitable for dinosaurs that thrived in warm regions. There are many secrets and mysteries hidden in the ice of Antarctica that we have yet to uncover. Scientists exploring the most remote parts of the icy continent make new discoveries every year, and one of the latest was truly sensational. Recently, during an expedition to a hard-to-reach region of Antarctica, British scientists discovered something resembling a man-made sculpture depicting a human hand. This finding was not made public since there is still no concrete information about the sculpture. It is presumed to be man-made. However, who exactly created it remains unknown. Scientists are also trying to keep this discovery under wraps because it challenges common stereotypes about Antarctica. Today, the continent is inhabited only by researchers. There are no permanent residents because surviving in this corner of the Earth is extremely difficult. But then, how did a man-made statue end up here? This question makes us reconsider our assumptions and blindly believing in everything scientists say. It is quite possible that advanced civilizations once lived in Antarctica and erected this sculpture. In 2023, scientists analyzed new satellite images of Antarctica. In one of them, they noticed numerous brown spots. Experts know that such spots are penguin droppings. Scientists use these traces to track the migration of various penguin colonies. However, this time, the droppings helped them identify a previously unknown colony of penguins. Antarctic penguins are under constant observation by biologists, so most penguin colonies are already known. However, this discovery proved that it is nearly impossible to track every bird. According to experts, the newly discovered colony consists of more than 1,000 adult emperor penguins and their chicks. To learn more about this group living in a remote part of the continent, scientists continued monitoring the area from space. This allowed them to confirm with certainty the existence of the new colony. These penguins are now also under scientific observation. In March 2022, underwater researchers announced the discovery of the sunken ship Endurance in the Weddell Sea, off the coast of West Antarctica. This ship had been commanded by the British Antarctic explorer Ernest Shackleton. Ernest Shackleton took part in 4 Antarctic expeditions. During his second, the Imperial Trans-Antarctic Expedition in 1915, his ship became trapped and crushed by the ice in the Weddell Sea. The crew was stranded in a perilous situation with no chance of rescue. However, Shackleton managed to find a way out. He decided to set up a temporary camp on massive ice floes while considering their next move. Shackleton hoped that the drifting ice would eventually bring the expedition members closer to inhabited areas, but instead, it carried them farther away. Realizing the danger, the explorer took 5 sailors with him and set out in a lifeboat towards South Georgia Island. After landing on the island's shore, Shackleton realized that his crew could not survive there. Therefore, he made an immediate decision to head for the nearest whaling station. The lifeboat covered about 1,500 kilometers and was no longer seaworthy. The explorers were forced to continue on foot, crossing mountains to reach the base. This journey took them 36 hours. Just imagine what these people had to endure in the extreme Arctic conditions. However, thanks to Shackleton's leadership, all 26 expedition members survived. Glaciers play a crucial role in the life of our planet. They influence the climate by cooling the atmosphere, help regulate global sea levels, and, of course, serve as major sources of fresh water on Earth. Due to melting or other natural processes, glaciers sometimes break apart, and their floating fragments in the water are known as icebergs. The lifespan of icebergs is usually short, averaging around 3 years. During this time, they undergo significant changes in appearance and essentially tell their story through their colors. Many people have seen stunning photos of colorful icebergs, but have you ever wondered why they come in different colors? Scientists explain that the color of an iceberg depends on various factors. White icebergs have recently broken off from glaciers and are just beginning their drifting journey. Green icebergs owe their color to iron-rich deposits acquired after prolonged contact with seabed rocks. A blue iceberg, on the other hand, indicates that it is quite old or has broken off from an ancient glacier. Its structure contains little air and few reflective surfaces, making it appear blue to our eyes. These are not the only colors icebergs can have. Sometimes they appear black, or they may display multiple shades at once. In 2017, Antarctica presented scientists with another mystery, one that took several years to unravel. That year, specialists discovered a hole had formed in the ice of the Weddell Sea. It was so large that Switzerland could have fit entirely inside it. In fact, this ice opening, known scientifically as a polynya, was first noticed back in 1974. However, it was relatively small at the time and soon disappeared. Scientists named it the Maud-Rees polynya and assumed that the hole would appear annually. However, after it vanished, it did not reappear for years. Finally, 43 years later, the polynya was spotted again, but this time it had formed very quickly and had grown to an incredible size. Naturally, scientists became interested in determining the cause of its reappearance. To find out why the polynya had reappeared and grown to such enormous proportions, scientists conducted years of research. For this, they used seals equipped with special sensors on their heads to record the necessary data. All these efforts paid off. It turned out that the hole in the ice had formed due to a unique combination of several natural factors. That year, the ocean currents in the Weddell Sea were stronger than usual. As a result, around the Maud-Rees seamount, there was an upwelling of salty and warm water. These currents, combined with whirlpools and the salty warm water, led to the melting of the ice. This is why such a massive hole in the ice cover formed near the seamount. This phenomenon once again proves how unpredictable and unique the weather conditions and natural processes in Antarctica can be. Sometimes we lose our belongings on the street, and in most cases, we never find them again. But sometimes, people who find a lost item go to great lengths to return it to its owner. That's exactly what happened to Stephen Decado, a researcher of Antarctica's snowy peaks, and Bruce McKee, an employee of a non-profit organization. In 2020, they arrived in Antarctica at the McMurdo station. There, they were preparing for renovations and moving old furniture. Behind one of the cabinets, they discovered an old wallet. The men decided not to throw it away, but to return it to its owner. Since there were no outsiders at the station, identifying the owner would be easy, especially since the wallet contained documents in the name of Paul Grisham. Decado and McKee reported their discovery to the Association of Marine Meteorological Services. Paul Grisham was quickly found. It turned out that he had worked as a meteorologist for the U.S. Navy and had been sent on a mission to McMurdo Station in 1967 to study weather changes in Antarctica. That's when he lost his wallet. When Decado and McKee returned home, the first thing they did was visit Paul Grisham to return his lost item. Just imagine how surprised the elderly man was when, after 53 years, his wallet was back in his hands. According to Grisham, he only noticed the loss when he returned home. Going back was pointless, so he decided to accept the situation. Of course, he had long forgotten about his wallet, but when it was returned, he was pleasantly surprised and very happy about what had happened. You may be surprised to learn that long ago, Antarctica was not covered in eternal ice and snow, but was instead home to lush green forests. This conclusion was reached by paleoecologist Eric Gulbranson and geologist John Isbell. While studying the frozen slopes of the Transantarctic Mountains, they discovered 13 fossilized tree remains, including roots and even leaves. These findings are approximately 260 million years old. These specimens serve as evidence that lush green forests once thrived in what is now Antarctica during the late Permian period. This discovery helped scientists better understand what occurred in this region before it was covered by permanent ice. Today, researchers believe that the extinction of Antarctica's forests was caused by a massive increase in atmospheric greenhouse gases. Such studies not only lead to astonishing discoveries, but also help reconstruct a complete picture of the climatic and ecological changes that have taken place on our planet over millions of years. Antarctica is home to many mysterious phenomena, and one of them is blood falls. This unusual phenomenon is observed only in the McMurdo dry valleys of East Antarctica. On the Taylor Glacier, blood falls is a powerful flow of red-colored water seeping through a crack in the glacier. This phenomenon was first discovered in 1911 by Australian geologist Griffith Taylor when he noticed strange blood-red streaks on the glacier's slope. Taylor did not understand the nature of this phenomenon, so he assumed that the cause might be unknown microscopic algae that tint the water this color. Due to this reddish hue, the geologist named the site Blood Falls. Over time, other scientists became interested in this phenomenon. During their research, they discovered that the unusual color of the water is caused by ferrous iron, which oxidizes instantly when it comes into contact with oxygen in the open air, acquiring a reddish, rust-like tint. The water source gushing from the glacier crack is a saline lake, located about 500 meters beneath the ice. This lake is believed to have formed approximately 2 million years ago, when Antarctica was not yet covered by a glacier. This lake is just as astonishing as Blood Falls itself. Despite being buried under thick ice, it never freezes. The Taylor Glacier is considered the coldest glacier in which liquid water flows. And that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. Your support is the best reward for me. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.